Okay, guys, we are live. The new season is upon us. Burnley play City in about probably half an hour or something like that. Dave's LFC Chats, huge season for the Reds. Hit the like, hit the share, give us a sub, show us your love. And we've the two boys in the house as usual. We have Ivan at Ivan Jennings on Twitter and Keith at Ethan Ryan on Twitter. We were going to start talking about Chelsea and Liverpool at Stamfordbridge, Pochettino, Klopp, all that. We will get to that. But of course, we're going to have a chat about last night's craziness, Area 51. We're talking about aliens existing. Now I believe it. Now I believe it after that. That was just absolutely alien level stuff. Caicedo was coming, he was going, he could still come, could still go. Chelsea, Liverpool, who knows? Keith, Ivan, what the hell? What do you make of that madness in the last 12 hours? Crazy.
Well, first thing, I suppose, I was just saying I have a bit of a head cold, so I was actually couldn't sleep last night, so I was awake for the vast majority of that. I had to go into bed about 3:30, 4. So I refreshed through the whole fucking thing last night. Now, I suppose, taking a step back, if we go back 24 hours and you look at, the fan base and Twitter or anybody else, like everybody was going absolutely batshit crazy due to lack of investment, lack of money, all this kind of stuff. FSG out, I've never seen it as prominent as it has been over the last 24 hours, and this isn't something that just happened last night off the back of that. Let's call it out straight away. But, on the positive side, and we have to start looking at positive at this stage because it does look like we're not going to get them. The club were quite prepared to put their hand in their pocket, spend £111 million on a player, right, in a position, and support the manager in a position we know we've got an issue with. So that is, for me, a massive kind of, plus point in the whole thing that we're willing and we have money and we've money to spend, right? What's happened thereafter is an absolute shit show, to be honest with you. And I think listen, the vast majority of this stuff now boils down to this guy's representatives, to be honest with you, and we knew going into it. So I don't think anybody's going to come out of this covered in any degree of glory whatsoever, anybody whatsoever. But I think it was opportunistic from our perspective. I think over the last few days, certainly with the stuff we've been doing, there's no way we were messing around over 2 or 3 million if we really wanted the player. But the stuff that's been going on over the last 2 days, I think we knew Brighton were going to bring this to a head. Last night, and we prepared off the back of information that we would have had a bit that we thought we were going to do this. Now, I think we also need to, bear in mind that we haven't done this in isolation without some sort of communication with the player and his reps, and they've obviously done a degree of twerking with us, to be honest with you. So, we've been led to believe that, he is open to a move to us, and let's just see where the chips fall, and that's purely not been the case. So it's hard to know whether it's the player himself, whether it's representatives, but as representatives who are driving this, I'd say it's probably the representatives, to be honest with you, and probably a sweetheart side deal that the main guy has with Chelsea that we simply won't honour. Is probably the driving force here. So it's all a bit messy. It's all a bit untoward. And from my perspective, I think we'd be doing the very best that we could do now at this stage is to reverse out of this as quickly as possible, because that is bad news all over the place. You might get 12 months out of him and he'll be twerking for Real Madrid or doing some sort of shit again. I think it's bad news all around. But my overwhelming impression is, or feeling at the back end of this is that I'm happy the club are willing to invest and spend money in areas that they think we need to do it, and they're willing to put their hand in their pockets.
But do you not think they've showed their hand, Keith? They've actually said, I have 111 million in my back pocket that I can spend on one player if I really need to. And we are desperate for a number 6. We're desperate for a central defensive midfielder. And any fucking central defensive midfielder we come for now is going to be 10, 20% more than what they would have been yesterday.
Not necessarily. We know what the money is for Lavia. We know what the release clause is for Inacio. Like, there's players around there. Listen, I think at this stage we're going to have to wait towards the tail end of the window when the value starts to come, and then you can see where clubs need to get money. Clubs need to strengthen, and that's what happens. We're just going to have to wait and play a waiting game now at this stage, unless there's some stuff that's been going on behind the scenes that we're not aware of. I wouldn't be overly concerned about that, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be overly concerned about that. We going into this window, clubs already knew we needed reinforcement in certain positions, and it's already happened whereby clubs have been looking for more than the market value, or more than we perceive to be the market value. I think that's happening anyway. I don't think what's ever going to happen from here on in is going to make too much of a difference to that, to be honest. That's just my opinion.
Well, maybe true. Ivan, I mean, what was your take on it? I mean, look, Would you want Caicedo in your team? Of course you want Caicedo in your team. He's 21. He's got bleeding everything. He's one of the best CDMs in the league, probably even in the world. The way he was the last season or two at Brighton has just been ridiculous. Him and McAllister, by the way. So I was over the moon today. Really, really over the moon. Wow, what a statement. But if it doesn't work out, that means we've won 11 in the back pocket, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know. Does it?
No, we've money to spend.
But do we? So I'm just confused, you know. So like I was delighted with McAllister coming in, delighted with Swansea coming in, and then like even last night I didn't even watch this Caicedo thing. Dave had texted me this morning to say that he'd signed, and I'm kind of going, there's just something not right here. Like we're tapping away at the other lad from Southampton for an extra million here or there. Do we really want him? And then suddenly we've gone in for Caicedo, and you know, obviously Bellingham's in the back of everyone's mind from a kind of similar financial perspective, and I'm just confused. I actually don't know what's going on, because it's funny. I was watching the overlap just before we came on, the previous one, and our business has been so clinical over the last 5 or 6 years. Like nothing in the media, nothing to talk about. Just you might get a hint 5 minutes before it, and then it's done. And this doesn't add up. And particularly getting involved with people who have agents who are looking for money. I don't get it. And I said it the day before we came on. Like I watched Klopp's press conference. I was just going, he's playing this whole thing down, you know. It just didn't seem right. Just doesn't, something not right here.
Yeah, he knew that the agreement with the club wasn't the final piece of the puzzle here. We needed to have, agreement in principle with the player and him travelling up for a medical, and that obviously hasn't taken place, to be honest with you, due to whatever factors have gone on behind the scenes. I do think this was opportunistic. I do think there was a window of opportunity where Brighton said, we're fucked off with Chelsea. This is what we're going to do now. So Thursday night, this is what we're doing. We're going to put it out there. We want bids in by 12 and we're closing it. And that's what they've said. And we've had a look and said, right, I don't think Chelsea can go past 105. I don't think Chelsea can go past 105. Let's blow them out of the water with 111. And let's just see if we can do the deal. But in order for us to do that, I do think we'd already agreed personal terms earlier in the summer on the off chance that we decide to get involved. So that work had been done with agents. So we're thinking it's an open race here, And Caicedo was kind of going, yeah, I'm going on my holidays. I'm either going to Spain or I'm going to Italy, but I'm going on my holidays anyway. I'd like to go to Spain. I prefer Spain. I like tapas. But fuck it, if I have to go to Italy and eat pizza, well then that's okay with me. And that's probably the way we think it was, but it hasn't turned out that way. And there's been a bit more complexity behind the scenes when we got down to nitty gritty. And I think it's agent.
Chelsea don't have the money. They FFP and stuff. They can't actually spend it in cash. 111 match Liverpool's bid. They have to have players plus cash. They can't do it as a cash deal.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why they pulled out the Tyler Adams deal.
What?
They pulled out of the Tyler Adams deal this afternoon. After that lad has travelled.
I tell you, Liverpool should go in for Tyler Adams.
Yeah.
And get bowled.
He's travelled.
For 70 million.
He's travelled. His dream move. He's done a medical. He's passed a medical. Waiting for contracts to be signed and deal is off. Now you could argue the case. The stuff that we pulled with Lavia is pretty much. It's not too fucking far away, for being perfectly honest. But but that's the level we're at now at the moment. So, So I don't know what their threshold is. I don't know what there is. There's rumours going around. They just come in with 112. So fucking hell.
It's shit show, isn't it? It's an absolute shit show. It really,
and we're associated with it. We look small time.
It's on Liverpool.
We look small time.
But Keith, we look small time during the week, right? With Lavia. I hate it. I hate everything to do with the media and
Twitter.
Even
Twitter's meltdown.
Twitter, like for me, under the radar, get it done. Nobody knows your business. Nobody talks about you. You just fucking do it.
But nobody knew we were coming in with 111 last night going to bed. Do you know what I mean? None of us knew that was going to happen. So
is it real though? This is my point. Is it actually real? Do we?
Well,
is it a show? But there's a lot on Twitter about people saying, we're doing it for show and we're trying to make the fans happy and he's going to go to Chelsea anyway. It's a huge amount of money that we like.
Yeah.
Do we? I'm just not sure we're going to spend. We had the intention to spend it, or have the intention to spend it.
Well, I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
My problem,
I think that
my
if the
problem
bid
for
goes in,
Liverpool,
I'm sure the bid is,
it goes in, has to be real. It's like bidding
player
for a
says
house or
yes, we
whatever.
pull out and say no, we don't
Yeah.
want. The personal terms have been agreed at this stage. Like what we're relying on, what we were relying on earlier on in the day is for Brighton to turn around and say this competition is now closed. Okay, Liverpool have bid the amount of money. They've won this mini competition. Moises, you either stay with Brighton for the fun of it, and he's only 21 years of age. His value is not going to depreciate. It's probably going to increase, if anything, or you go to Liverpool. And Brighton didn't do that. They opened the door again for more bids to come through, right? So,
but see, the problem is, what legality is that? They had a midnight sealer to say, listen, we want this now
yeah,
quick. We'll give you to midnight. Is there legality
There's
involved
nothing.
here? Who
That's
knows?
verbal. Until
What?
it's
until
verbal.
until something's signed, there's
No,
nothing. There's nothing. Until it's signed, like it's all and social media and Sky Sports and your man Romano. It's all fucking
he just,
bullshit.
yeah.
Absolute bullshit.
Like there's been nothing out apart from Melissa Reddy has done a few bits and pieces, which is just not a huge amount in it. Like, it's been very quiet from Ornstein. It's been very quiet from Joyce. It's actually been very quiet generally. Just this evening. Now, I think a lot of that's down to the fact that, everyone's just fucking worn out with the whole thing, and there's not a huge amount of interest, but it does feel like there's a bit of a vacuum there at the moment. I think hand on heart, it was a valid bid, Ivan.
Yeah.
It's a good point. It's a good thing. It's, I think we do need to be mindful of it, but, if that came out that we were just acting the mag and putting that through, I think that's probably the end of FSG playing silly games like that, to be honest with you.
Couldn't do that. If that was found out as a joke, yeah, you couldn't do that. You know what I mean? Remember, we've a fairly good. We got McAllister from Brighton. We were only after dealing with them a few months ago. A fairly big deal for McAllister.
Yeah,
So
I know, but there was a degree.
Contacts.
There was a degree of inside information there. Us getting in for 35. I'm sure that doesn't sit amazingly well. Yeah, okay. Milner's gone the other way, and apparently there's good relations between. But like we did get him for sale. We could probably got him at fucking half price.
We're paying 111 for your fucking number 6.
Yeah, but there's no loyalty there. There's no loyalty there. So, but listen, ultimately, if the player doesn't want to come to us, well then, there's no fucking way in hell you're going to spend 110, 111 million on a player who really doesn't want to be there in the first place. Like, that's just madness.
No, look, it's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a fucking 24 hours, not even 24 hours at this stage, like it in my bleeding life. Like, British record transfer fee, 111 million for a 21-year-old, all
Pounds.
over the news. Sky Sports, Paul Joyce, almost done, 99% done, and all of a sudden now, Chelsea come in. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's actually a little bit embarrassing as well, to be honest. And I just think it's a mess. It's chaotic, and it's on Liverpool. Like, to be fair,
it is, and I think it reflects on the player as well. And I know there's a lot of we get a bit snobby about like, why would you ever want to go to Chelsea? When Liverpool come in and make an offer for you, and I get that. I totally do. And like, if I was still playing and Liverpool came for me, I'd be gone. But if they're offering him 3 times the salary or whatever it is, and the lads from South America or wherever he is, it's kind of like Henderson and Fabinho going to Saudi Arabia. It's like, it's almost life changing. And why would you choose Liverpool over Chelsea, albeit the bananasness that's going on at Chelsea? So it's hard. It's hard,
As I said, I think it was opportunistic.
Brighton, Chelsea, right beside each other. I think he's at home in London and stuff. Family, it could be something to do with that, maybe. But
then there shouldn't have been representatives. There shouldn't have been, representatives made. Yeah, they shouldn't have said he would, earlier on the summer, that if he were to put in a bid, he'd be open to a move. So they played, even though they weren't really. So we've been dragged into this to drive up everything. So the agent has played a blinder. He's getting a whack out of it. I think Brighton are getting a whack out of it. They've gone from 90 up to 112, to be honest with you, right? By starting, creating this competition. So they're winning. Right now, I don't think anyone's covered in glory, to be honest with you. I think it's horrible. I think it's it doesn't leave a nice taste in the mouth at all. But there's nobody covered in glory here. Brighton fans will think absolutely the club's played a blinder. Chelsea fans will probably think their club's played a blinder. But other than that, it's just horrible all round. It's just greed personified. So
but
it is what it is
another way
now.
of looking at it, Keith, any player who doesn't want to come to Liverpool At the end of the day, do you really want them there? If they're
No,
even thinking about not coming,
no.
I
I'm
don't know whether you
100% on
want
that
them there.
bus. Yeah, I'm
You've got to
100%
want to
on
be.
that
You
bus.
want, and I'm sure Klopp's the same. You've got to want to put the jersey on. That's the first
Yeah,
thing you've got to want to do. You shouldn't have to sell the
And
club.
like
yeah,
we never
Let's go.
play big wages. It's always like you want to be with the club. You're
I
on
think
whatever
we're third
18
in the
months.
wage. We're in
No,
third in
but
the wage pay.
we are over time. But when you sign, you're on, like, I think Salah came in on 110 grand or something like that, and then you prove yourself, and then you get the wage. But you have to make the commitment that
yeah,
the club that you want to be with. Like this is what it's actually about, right? It's, do you want to be with this club, or are you just in it for money? You know, and I'm not. I
yeah.
know Henderson and Fabinho, they've served us. They're done. They've won everything. Good luck to them. I'm talking about this lad's 21. Come on,
Yeah.
seriously. Come on, you've 10, 12, 15 years ahead of you, buddy. Where do you want to do? What do you want to do? Like,
Spider is
And as
saying
you,
that Saints and Chelsea close to a green deal for Lavia. If that's true, I would say Caicedo's going to Liverpool.
can't buy both of them. You haven't got the money to buy both of them. That's
But you
160
haven't got
million.
the FFP. They're not
Go
allowed.
on.
They're not
No, I know
allowed,
that.
Keith.
So listen,
Unless they do fucking fiddling in the books, or I don't know what they're. It doesn't make sense for them to buy
no,
both. It really
they
doesn't.
can't do 8-year deals anymore. They're not allowed to do any 8-year deals anymore. That's all being done away with. So that can't happen.
No, but I mean,
But just
if the Lavia thing goes through, I have a feeling. I have a feeling he could stick this, because why have Liverpool not pulled out? That's another question. Why
no,
Liverpool said,
you're right, Dave. You're right. The deal, both deals are still on the table. So
yeah,
nobody has been said no to. So this is
listen,
all very
but you've also had throughout the day is you've had Romano, who's been fed by Chelsea, and a couple of other the London journals who've been fed by either Chelsea, or representatives to drive whatever agenda they want to drive. So there's all this stuff going on behind the scenes. We don't actually know. None of us actually know where the truth lies. However, right? However, and you made a point just a little bit earlier on, Ivan. Your representatives do reflect on you. You cannot disassociate yourself from your representatives to say, he did that. Sorry about that. They're an extension of you. So
yeah.
he needs to put on his Billy Big Balls pants then and come out and decide what the fuck he wants to do. And let's all just move on. That's what he needs to do, So
totally agree. It's not good. It smells.
Yeah. I mean, who knows the next, 24 hours or whatever's going to happen. We'll obviously be keeping our eyes on it. Keith, I don't know whether you want to rock and roll yourself, but we've a big one on Sunday.
yeah. If you're moving on, I might just
Sunday's
get
gonna be
stuck into
fucking
my lessons,
bedlam.
lads.
Sunday's
Yeah,
gonna be
no,
absolute bedlam.
Voice is going here, so
his voice is going there. You sound a bit like John Motson. Come on.
I feel a bit like John Motson.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, come on, Keith. We'll talk to you. Good luck.
Chat to you soon, lads. Right, have a good evening. All right, take care. Bye bye.
Cheers, bro. Right. I'm actually going to send a link to Jack. I know Jack wants to come in, so if I can send a link to Jack, Ivan, I will.
Go for that.
Jackie Boy. I know Jackie Boy wants to come in, so it's always worth doing a little trick with Jackie Boy.
It's all over Sky Sports about fucking Lavia.
I have a feeling Liverpool have got him. I'm serious. You know that?
There's some explaining to be done.
Yeah. Let Klopp explain that one then. I mean, I'm back here now. I've sent Jack, Anfield Road TV, a link. He can come in for the next 10, 15 if he wants. The link is in the house. Chelsea going for, could be an indication. I think so. Considering Lavia, he is a good player. He's 19. I would have liked him at Liverpool, but he is a project, isn't he? I mean, could you throw him in rather than you could throw Caicedo in? I don't think so.
50 million? Jesus Christ.
That's ridiculous. Look.
For such an important position that like we've had one of the best players in the world there for the last 5 or 6 years, and then suddenly, like, to go into a season without a 6, and then your next option is a 50 million on a 19-year-old who's played a few games. Come on, doesn't sound right. Doesn't. And we were even talking about maybe going 4-2-3-1 and playing McAllister and Sabozzi in there, or maybe Trent. It's just like, it doesn't sound right, lads. Come on.
I'll tell you what. Here's another thing. He believes Chelsea will get Caicedo and Lavia. I'll tell you, if they do get Caicedo and Lavia, that would be a kick in the balls.
Yeah.
I'm serious. That
I
would
can't
be a
even get
serious
both.
kick in the balls. You know what I mean?
But like, how could they? They'd have to transfer half
There's
the team
FFP
over.
problems
Yeah,
there. I can't
exactly.
see it. It's either or for me. It's either or for me. I'll take that back if you're right, Dave. Tommy Walker in the house. Tommy, hit the like, hit the share, guys. Let's go. 27 people in live. Let's hit the like buttons. Jack, I sent you the link if you want to pop in. It's about his family moving and his agent independently wanting a cut. It's all about the Wonga guys, unfortunately. The Benjamin Franklins, as they call them. And that's the problem. It's sad. That's a sad fact of life in football. We know what's happening in Saudi Arabia with all those ridiculous 600-700 grand a week bleeding wages for players in their 30s now. Come on, it's absolutely crazy. But the thing is, and I made a point of it today on Twitter, Ivan, I was saying, you have to do your due diligence. And it would surprise me if Liverpool came into this with 111 million in their back pocket to go into a dealership, a car dealership, to buy a top-of-the-range Ferrari. Go over to the bleeding salesman and say, how much is that Ferrari over there? It's 500,000. Right, I want it. Do I bring it on a test drive? No, I want the car. Just give me the keys.
Yeah.
Go over it, give them the 500,000, open the door, and it's left-hand drive.
It doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up.
And that's why when I saw Klopp in the press conference, I was just like, this is a bit odd. Like this just doesn't feel right, you know. I don't know.
There's something wrong here. Am I missing something? That's the big one, you know?
I'd be the same. There's something not right here.
There's something not right, no. But I mean, anything could happen. I have a feeling we might have Caicedo though, but I mean, that's another day's story. Just Hannah is in as well. What do you think, guys? Jack, if you're still there on Anfield Road TV, the link has been sent to your Twitter. You can pop in if you want. We're going to finish the show. We started with Caicedo, but we're going to talk about Chelsea. Chelsea, the team who we're up against for these signatures, of course, on Sunday, the Super Sunday game at 4:30 at Stamfordbridge. This was going to be a tricky one anyway, Ivan, no matter what happened between Caicedo and Leva and all this type of stuff. Pochettino's first home game. They've new players. They've a lot of players. They probably have 2 coaches at Chelsea. Never mind 1. 2 players, coaches. So it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be hard to pick an 11 for Liverpool, to be fair. Who's fit, who isn't fit?
Yeah, and he's
got to go strong. But this is a trick. You don't want to be losing your first game, right?
No, it's a real slippery one. And I love Pochettino. I think he's a great coach. I think he'll turn them around. They'll be challenging for the title in a couple of years when he sorts the kind of owners and the big squad that he has there. But it's a tough one. It's not going to be easy. No,
Dave, I need therapy. We're all going to need therapy after this. I was on yesterday on Twitter. FSG out, boys. Were flying their flags. They were calling people donkeys and dogs. I mean, it was absolutely crazy stuff. It was madness. And then this morning, they were kissing FSG's arse. They were kissing FSG's arse. And if this Caicedo deal falls through, they'll be back on the donkeys. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. But we're going to move on to the Chelsea game. We have to. That's the main thing. We have to move on to the Chelsea game, 4:30, Stamfordbridge. As I say, we've had a lot of draws with them, Ivan. We've had a lot of draws over the last,
I think it's 3 or 4 years since we beat them, is it?
Yeah. It's a while, yeah. 2 draws last season in the league. 2 draws, 4 draws in the league the following season?
4,
and two cup final draws and penalties. So close, tight. That's what I'm expecting on Sunday. We have a lot going forward. We're not so tight defensively. That's my only worry, especially away from home. As you know, last year, our away form was absolutely piss poor. It was championship level, and our home form was Champions League level. So we've got to turn that around. And that's why I was hoping someone like a Caicedo or a Romeo Lavia would have done the job, because we need someone in midfield to put the bleeding foot in. And we just don't have one. McAllister will do it. Don't get me wrong. Jones will do it, but I'm on about a specialist number 6, a specialist DM.
Yeah,
maybe
Jones,
he'll come, but he won't be there on Chelsea.
He won't be there on Sunday. So
no, won't be. So we've got to pick an 11, and we've got to talk about the game. So obviously, have to go Alisson, Van Dijk, Kanate, Robertson, Trent. I don't think we've any choice. Trent's got to play right back against Chelsea on Sunday. Midfield is the big one for me. What do you do in midfield? Sloboside, obviously, McAllister. I think those 2 have to start. Don't think we've any choice. I'd throw Caicedo in there if he was there. I'd throw Lavia there if he was there. But they ain't there. I think the third key is Curtis Jones. He had a good finish to the season. He had a good ending. Does Harvey Elliott get in?
Yeah, no, I'd be brave right now. And I'd kind of go 4-3-3, but kind of a 4-2-3-1. I'd have Szoboszlai and McAllister as a a 2, really. Trent can kind of come in when we move forward, but I play 4 strikers. I play our normal 3 plus 1. And I probably have Diaz, Salah, Gakpo, and possibly Jota.
Jota's been on fire.
He has been. He's been really, really good, you know. So
the front three. Sorry, I didn't give you my front three. Obviously, Salah's there, Gakpo, Hakpo, and Jota. Then, I mean, the likes of Darwin on the bench and Luis Diaz. I mean, he must be getting pissed to be left out as well, because he looked decent in pre-season as well. It was not a bad bench. I think up front we're okay. I think forward lines will get goals. It's just key for me is that midfield, can it be tight enough? Can it be creative enough? And the defence, can it be bleeding tight enough? I think that's the key. I don't want to see Alisson get man of the match. I don't want to see Alisson in the odd game, not every second game, getting man of the match, because that means your defence is leaky and it's giving away too many big chances.
Totally agree. And it's like Trent as well. Like what way is he kind of playing him? Is he keeping him as a fullback? Is he pushing him into midfield? I actually like when he pushes into midfield, and I actually don't mind that when Konate plays on the right beside Van Dijk, because he kind of can cover there. Matip can't do that.
No, but look, I don't think you mess around with it now. There's been so much shit going on the last 24 hours. I think you just play your strongest 11, 4-4-3-3, go to Chelsea. I mean, it's not going to be easy to win there. Come on, Ivan, you know. I'm actually going for another draw, to be fair. Something like a 1-1 or something like that. I'd probably take it, the way the shit. I mean, to really hammer the nail in the coffin, would Chelsea to beat us on Sunday? No. You know what I mean? Not only beat us to a fucking transfer, beat us on the bleeding 3 points.
2-1 for us. You
know what I mean? You're going to go 2-1. Trap Lines is giving his 11. Alisson, Robertson, Van Dijk, Konate, Trent, Jones, McAllister, Hakpo, Salah, Jota, and Diaz. Okay. Hello there. I didn't notice this was on. I missed Dave's dulcet Irish tones. Howdy, Dave. Oh, that's very nice. And we're live. I also do the radio. But look, I'm just looking forward to it. Premier League's back, and City playing Burnley, probably even as we speak, are very close to
8 o'clock, I think.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
I mean, look, it's great to be back. The football's back. We're ready to rock and roll. Just the shit show that's been going on in the last few weeks with the transfer window. We've let a lot of players go, Ivan. We've let a lot of experience go in the last 2 months. A lot of experience. Okay, a lot of people say most of them didn't play. You'd be surprised. You know, you're a football man. Having that experience around the training ground
Henderson, Fabinho,
is huge.
Henderson, Fabinho, that's out of the blue. They weren't planned.
I heard Klopp saying today that was left field. That was left field, and he had to react. And that's one of the reasons he put the bid in for Caicedo.
Totally. So, you don't let 7 players go in one or two.
But you're not meant to have a plan B and say, right, we're going to get rid of all the players, but we're going to hope to bring someone in. Yeah. What if you don't? What if they don't come? What if they don't come?
It goes back to all the missed transfer windows where we should have been bringing in one and bringing in one or bringing in 2. And it comes back to bite.
Yeah, look, we've been on here talking for a year or two, talking about 2 or 3 windows missed, and this window has been basically like a tsunami. This window is where all those windows have caught up, and we've had too much work to do. We've brought in Big Jorge, of course. I'm sure he's on the phone right now, but. You know, you missed how many players left? 7? First team, senior players. We've brought in 2. Now starting players has to be said, not fringe players. But I think we needed 4. Yeah. Even if we would have got Caicedo today, and we still could get him, by the way, I still think we needed the defender.
We definitely need a defender. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Definitely.
I mean, it's been absolutely great. We're not going to stay on much longer here, of course, but it's just great to be back, guys. Dave's LFC Chats with Ivan, with Keith. All the boys are back in town. Just a bit sour tasting about what happened today with Moyes Caicedo. Now, it could turn around, and tonight he could be with a bleeding Liverpool jersey. Who knows? But just the whole taste in the mouth, even if he does sign, isn't quite as sweet as it should be.
There'll be some explaining to do if he signs.
Yeah, there will be explaining. Panov Scouts, I'm going for 3-1 to us. We will put Chelsea to the sword. Well, I hope you're right. And it would be good and a 1-over for us if we could beat them in their own backyard on Sunday, considering they put the shit show into this one. They tried to put the spanner in the works. Apparently, they're in for Lavia now. Maybe that's good news for us, Ivan. Who knows? When we finish here, I'm going to go straight onto fucking Twitter. I'll be tweeting and twerking away on my new X bleeding Twitter, whatever you call it now. I don't know. But It's absolutely crazy. Caicedo does the lean this weekend. Brace the veal. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 2. A lot of people going for that. I'm going to go 1-1. I'm going to sit in the fence. I'm going to sit in the fence like the transfer committee. I'm going 1-1 to the Reds. Mohala to get the goal for the Reds. I'd probably take a draw now because the way we've been, our away form, we've just got to certainly not lose. So important not to lose your first game in the Premier League, isn't it? You're already fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah, can't lose. Can't lose.
Right.
I'd probably take a draw, but I'm going for 2-1.
Yeah, right. I'll go 1-1. Ivan is going 2-1. I know Keith does not like giving scorelines and stuff like that. But look, who knows where we'll be on Sunday. Caicedo could be red. It could be dead. Who knows what is going to happen. 2-2, says Paul Hayes. A draw. Would you take a draw? You probably would. We all want the Reds to win. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. But I think we'll leave it there for the first show of the season. Chelsea Liverpool on Sunday. The Caicedo rumbles on and on and on. Romeo, where art there for Caicedo? Stay safe, guys. Hit the like, hit the share. You'll never walk alone. Stay safe. Cheers. Ivan, Keith, let's go.